All right, guys. So I just went over this example in the other video for 10.2 for FOIL, but I realized that I wanted to include language with it because I noticed some people might have been having some problems with the combination. So what I'm going to do here is just go over what this would be categorized as. So let's go through each of these because there's two different kinds of polynomials here. So if we refer back to the notes, I said you can classify by degree and then you can classify by terms. And so the combination is just doing both those in one. And so what that looks like is the first thing you want to look at is, let's take this. This is a binomial, right? And why do I know that? Well, 2x plus 4 is what I'm specifically talking about right now inside the parentheses here. And I know it's a binomial because it has the 2x and a plus sign and a 4. The plus sign indicates that there's two different parts to it, two different terms, right? Two terms means binomial, right? So when we're talking about terms, if you look back at those notes, we went through monomial for 1, binomial, trinomial for 3, and a tetranomial for 4, right? And so that's how you would know by terms what to call it. And then the second part that you would say actually before that would be what is the degree. Now I said when you get higher, you can just say first, or sorry, you can say like fifth degree or 10th degree or something like that, right? But there was some special language for the ones that are lower than that. And 5 probably has one too, actually, now I think about it. And that would be looking at the powers, right? That's what degree means. And so when I said there's no x, that was just a constant, right? So we know that term. But what would you call x to the first, which is what this example is? That's a linear one, right? You remember that language now? Linear. So this is binomial because there's two terms, and it's linear because it's the first degree. So you'd call it a linear binomial. That's the combination, right? Linear meaning what degree is it? First degree. That's what linear means. And then binomial means terms. How many are there? There's two different pieces to this. There's one plus sign, if that helps you remember. So another example, just to get another one down, we look at the final product we had. And then, so what would we do? We want to look at the highest power, x squared, for this final product here. So that's what you get the degree from. I don't know if I specified that before. It's the highest power. In this case, the highest power for this was x to the first. Highest power down here is x squared. So what do we call that? That's quadratic, if you remember that, right? So a quadric, and then what is it? What kind of polynomial? For terms, there's one term here, two terms, three terms, right? And two plus signs. That helps you break it down. So three terms would be tri, like I said earlier. So trinomial. So I said it's quadric because it's square, and it's tri because of the number of terms. So it's a quadric trinomial. Okay? So definitely look back on those notes. Go watch that video again if you need to. And you maybe don't even watch it, but just go and fast forward to the part where I have it filled out. Maybe that'll help, right? Then you can just look through and be like, okay, when was the first degree? What was the term for that? Second, what was that? And then for the terms, you look at that as well. And all you gotta do is combine them, right? So look for the highest power and then count how many terms there are. There should be two different kinds of languages for each of those, right? All right, hopefully that helps. If you still have questions, let me know.